it's really interesting. You know that what we saw on the range and we saw on the chipping of the tendency of that. It's even here. You'll see it in a minute. It's more noticeable here than it is on the chipping, in fact.
I'm not surprised at that comment. I have heard it being told me before.
So if you look at your setup here, everything's a little bit open.
Yeah.
I don't
necessarily. Is that okay?
It's fine if you want to deliberately cut it a little bit. I don't think there's any need to be open.
Oh my God, look how up my chest is.
Yeah, I'd prefer to see you just square onto it, unless you were deliberately trying to cut it, which we're not. It's quite an interesting scenario. I heard there was Tiger Woods and Jason Day doing some chipping the other day with McIlroy, and it was listening to them talking about how they feel they play a shot like this.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Tiger and McIlroy both, Tiger and Day both draw them. They both draw this shot.
Okay.
They don't cut it unless they specifically need to.
I feel like I cut it massively.
They actually, you look like you're trying to cut it a lot. But more important than that, if you watch your head and sternum, what's it doing?
It's going.
It's a bigger version of your chipping.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up having a difficulty at times with lie versus low point.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to do is make it a constant, so we can reduce that amount of moving around and guarantee that your sternum ends up ahead of the ball at impact, as opposed to rocking behind it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That movement. There. You see it?
Yeah.
The head?
Yeah.
It's there.
Up and back.
And then you've got that little bit earlier release. I don't mind that on a pitch, as under the one condition.
You're not moving backwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like to see you releasing earlier. I think a lot of time on short games, I think historically we've perhaps spent too much time trying to get so much compression and shaft lean on this that actually we're missing out on using the bounce.
Yeah.
So I think seeing you releasing this, I really like that shot.
Yeah.
It only becomes a problem when your sternum is moving backwards and you do it.
Is that when I get one that pops up high?
You'll get a floaty one that comes up short with not very much spin.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you're pretty good at releasing it. It's brilliant because you're using the bounce well.
Yeah.
And when we're chipping, as we discussed earlier, we're using basically the middle to front edge of the sole.
Yeah.
When we're pitching, we're using the middle and sometimes the back of it.
Okay.
And to do that, you do need to get the club to release, which is quite right.
So I'm doing the hand action's okay.
It's really very good.
It's where my sternum and where I finish my body is on the poorer side.
So yeah, so you're ending up, and I appreciate I'm exaggerating this. You're stood very, very open for no reason really. So let's just square it off.
Okay.
But as you come into it, if you're releasing that club like this, so the right hand's working under, is brilliant as long as your sternum were there.
Staying ahead.
If your sternum's working backwards, you get this one. And this is where you quite often will finish kind of like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of there.
This is going to feel so bizarre to me.
You'll probably feel like you're in front a little bit, but don't hang on to it.
Okay.
Still let it release. It's a great thing.
Okay.
You're going to make it very forgiving by having that release, because you're getting the sole working into the floor. It's designed, they spend millions on designing these bounces.
Use it.
Use it. So don't try not to release. Do release it well, but do it where the sternum's in front and you still pivot. We talked about pivoting of the left knee.
Yeah.
Still true here. That.
Okay.
Have a go. You'll finish a lot more forward than you used to.
Right, so I'm going to feel like I'm moving around this left knee.
That's it, and your sternum and chest is going to finish a little bit more forward than you're used to being.
Okay.
Still release it. Exactly, not that. Yes.
Square up as well.
Square it up. And again. I quite like that, even though it wasn't your best ever strike.
I think before, if I'd done that, I'd have smacked it to the ground.
It would have been a duff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that though. Square it up. Let it release, pivot around the knee. And
again, that would have been fat and bad, whereas that's actually... I feel like I'm trying to over-release this now. Would that be a fair...
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, this is where the bounce comes in. So if you use the bounce, it does let you get away with quite a bit. I'll show you that.
That felt really aggressive. Still up, wasn't it? Better.
Yeah, better. And you're finishing now more vertically, as you can see.
Rather than before.
Rather than coming back off it so much. That's still got a bit of work to be done on it, though.
So is there a drill that I can use to sort of exaggerate this?
Yeah, I just
find
use...
that hard to get that feeling there.
If you just use like a alignment stick, stick it like a club blade's width away from you, like this.
Yeah.
And as you're taking it back, your weight's still on here, but as you come through, I want you to feel that your belt hits this.
Okay.
So you've got a club blade width, and then as you come forward, I want your belt hitting that stick, Alex.
So it's almost like a marker of if I've done it enough.
We're here.
So just to reiterate this to people, so I'm starting there, club head out. Before, I would have been
exactly
like this.
that.
Whereas now I'm...
That's it. So feel your belt nudging that stick forward. That's it.
And does that feel like, am I feeling it's from my weight transfer in my lower half?
No, it's your upper that's the issue.
Upper.
It's that versus that.
Okay.
So it's your upper half. And you'll notice that your spine angle, which historically has ended up there, is now going to be much more here.
To achieve this?
Yeah.
Okay. And can I hit shots of this? Is that
yeah, definitely.
Right, let's get my distance.
Love that.
That was crisp.
Yeah, good shot.
Still feel like I could do a bit more.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more.
It's a weird sensation, that.
So I think you've actually been very good with how you release the club.
Yeah.
I think you've been excessively open for no reason other than let's stand open because we're pitching, which is great if you're trying to cut it up there. But we're not for 90% of them. It's a neutral square shot where, as I say, your top players are hitting a slight draw on this most of the time, and I think you should approach it the same.
Okay.
But get that sternum forward now. Your release is already good. Love that.
I tried to feel like a draw swing on that.
Yeah, nice. Do that again.
I know hit that too far, but that felt really good.
It's a nice contact.
Squared off. Rather than...
Yes. Sweet. Slightly long in the hit. Strike's perfect.
Yeah,
just slightly too much in the backswing.
I'm sort of trying to forget target a second, and I'm trying to just like get that feel for that movement. Contact
is there.
I'll try and play it. I'll try and aim at target here now. Let's get a little more target orientated.
Shot.
Look at that.
I guess the feeling, Alex, and perhaps a good way to describe this is we're almost trying to hit a low draw with a 56 degree wedge, or 58. A kind of a low draw feel. So you're covering it, that's it. Covering and releasing, that's it. And the release is important because it's what gets us using the bounce here. And if you don't, you're then hanging on to it. So let that club release, but let that feel of a slight draw. Sternum covers it.
I'm going to try and stand close, is that okay?
Yeah, no problem with that.
Let's move it a bit there. That was pure.
That's about as good as you've hit.
Actually, some stop on it as well.
Same again. Love it.
Hey, a bit of ball on the face. Bit of strike.
There we go. Middle. Middle of the face, Alex.
Right, one more here. I've got a good feeling there. I felt that helped me having it a little bit, I don't know, it encouraged me to feel that draw a little bit.
Yes.
Like even a little bit of...
Pure.
I know it's too long, Anders, but I'm just trying to get that sensation.
This is all about the contact. Once you have contact, you can work on targets. Yes. You've got to get contact, because without that, you got nothing.
So to summarise that for everybody, it's really working on that feeling of our sternum not working up, back, early release. It's feeling more there.
Yes. And don't be worried about releasing it.
Yeah.
As long as you are sternum's in front and you're continually turning, it's a great thing to make the club more forgiving in its soul.
And when we're saying release for people that are new to golf, that I'm feeling like it's like that.
Yes. So the wrists cock in the backswing.
Yeah.
And then as we're turning, they uncock like this. So the right wrist works slightly underneath. So you're finishing here. But if you didn't turn,
yeah,
you would thin it. So it's as we turn, like that.
Awesome. Anders, thank you so much.
My pleasure.